Hi guys, it's Krzysiek here. In this lesson I will be walking through the steps to create rim with the tire. So we're going to run through 3 stages. One is sketching, where we create all sketching which are necessary to go to stage number 2, which is creating solids. So mostly we're going to use Revolve. So at the stage 3 we're going to subtract and use these solids to make the shapes we actually designed, and we are going to use help tools as a coordinate system, and we're going to use groups as an operational tool to cutting operations, and basically this is it. So let's follow me and let's just start. So let's create new workspace, and then we have to place the image of blueprint. So you have to go to the right view and then go and choose our blueprints we've prepared earlier in some graphic software I've prepared earlier. So, and we have to place them in the right place. I really like to place all of the images according to the coordinate system, which is basically 0 point, and all these lines you see helpful. So let's just move it to the center, because everything you're going to do according to the center will help you to organize the solids and the operations you're going to do. We have to create a symmetry line. It will help us to make a mirror, and now start to create a control point curve to prepare our profiles of rim. You can adjust them by just selecting separate points. Remember to you don't have to be very precise right now. Remember, always after you finish your control point curve, you can always adjust it and make it as you wish to be, as I'm doing right now. Okay, so let's now create the ring profile. Okay, so let's just create a tire right now. So we're making the outside shape by using control point curve, and then we're going to use a offset tool to make the inside shape. Okay, it's time for some adjusting. And I think we can trim unuseful curves, so as you see right now. So I don't need this small bits, so I can trim them. So now I'm going to use a offset tool. Okay. So now it's time to make a thread profile. So I'll do the same thing, the control point curve. And I will create some rows. And the only one thing we need to do, it's a profile to create a bolt subtraction tool. We have to make a separate symmetry line to do so. Okay, so now it's time to revolve some profiles. So I'm going to place all of them on my groups. So that will help me to arrange around the solids. I'll rename my layer, and then I'll create a revolve by the first profile according to the symmetry I've created earlier. So this is really helpful, as you can see right now, to have all of the objects I've created according the center points or coordinate system lines or axes. So I'm going to make a small fillet rim, as was on the sketches. So if you select the edges, so if you want to make the chamfer, you have to pull your pencil up the screen, or if you want to select, if you want to make fillet, you just need to go with your pen on the bottom of your screen. So this is kind of a tip for you. Okay, it's done. So now I'm going to make a tire. So first I will create some new layer in the groups, rename it and call it rim tire, and I'll go straight to revolve. So if I'll revolve and make a solid, automatically my solid will appear on that layer I've just created. Okay, so let's check if everything we've created is on the proper layers. Yeah, the tire and the rim. Okay, so let's create a new one. We call it thread, because we are going to make a thread profile right now. So I prefer to create everything first, and then use subtraction tools to finish my work. So it gives my design a proper arrangement. I'm going to fillet my rows a little bit to make it a little bit more realistic. Okay, so at the end I'm going to make the last bit, which is gonna be the rim profile in the front face. Okay, so now I need to leave only the rim profile because I'm going to work a little bit more with this shape. I'm going to cut it with some special profiles I'm going to create right now. But first I need to create a constraint line. I'm going to use this line to create the plane, which will help me to create another sketch, but I'm going to place this plane in front of my profile because I don't want to be on the back of the profile, so I won't see anything, any sketches I'm going to draw, as I did right now. Use lines for your purposes to help yourself to design what you want to design in a way you've sketched it before, as I did it. So as you can see right now, I'm creating the symmetry lines according the profile curve, and then I'm creating profiles I'm going to use to cut through the objects. And also those symmetry lines are very helpful to mirror, as I did right now. I'm going to trim the unuseful curves right now and go back to the perspective view. So now I'm going to make a layer called cut layer, cut tool, and then anything I will create right now is going to be cutting tool in the future. So I will going to use the groups as a cutting tool operator. This is a very helpful tool. You don't have to copy many times. You just select objects which are on a, for example, cut tools group. So now I'm going to duplicate that shape according 360 degrees, and be sure your sketches are not too big, because otherwise your shapes will not be proper, or the profile is going to be intersected. And of course be sure to select the copy button, otherwise you won't copy anything. And to help yourself, go straight to a dialog box where you can type your angle. As you can see, I'm rotating my object around the 0 point. I've placed the purple dot earlier to have ability to rotate around that point. Okay, now I'm going to subtract. So let's select the objects I'm going to subtract from, and then the group of tools I've created earlier, and put them on this layer, as I did right now. So this is a great helpful tool. You don't have to select one by one. You just select the group of objects placed on the layer you've created as a cutting tool. So now I'm going to make a chamfers. Yeah, so let's remember you can move up or down your pencil. So you're selecting the chamfer or fillets, and let's make some last chamfers. Okay, so let's unhide the rim. Looks great. I think we can create a holes for a bolt right now. So let's find the right profile to revolve. Okay, and select it. And use it line as a revolve axis. Great. So now we need to duplicate that according 0 point. So to do it, let's go to the back view. So let's select the object and place the purple dot in the right position according to the coordinate system. And we're going to use a transform tool. Make sure you find the right duplicate angle. And from the top-up bubble, we can select by groups, not one by one. That's a helpful tool. And it's done. Okay, now we will use this as a cutting tool. So the same, okay, and now we unhide the rim profile, select it and subtract using a cut tool layer in the groups. So now the last touch is a chamfer. So in this case, you don't have to select the all round loop. You can just select one edge and then push your pencil up or down. Either you want to select chamfer or fillet. Okay, looks great. Okay, let's work with the thread. So now we need to prepare profile, extrude this profile, and we're going to duplicate this with the help of the grouping. But first I need to create the construction plane to draw a new sketch for my profile. So in this case, I will create the construction plane through edge at the angle. And then I'll move this plane above the threads so I can see the sketch I'm making. Okay, now double tap on that plane and you're gonna move straight to plane view. So if you create line, if you're not sure your line is horizontally, you can just press the icons on the left in a command panel. So remember to make a loop as long as your sketch is a little bit bluish. Now you sure this is looped and you can extrude it easily. Let's just turn the constraint plane off and extrude our profile. So as I'm extruding right now, the solid is actually going straight to the top layer, which in this case is cutting tool I'm using in my operations. So let's just relocate the center of transformation, apply the copying and then copy. I'm going to copy 4 times according to 90 degrees, and I'm going to using select shapes by groups, and I'm going to select them all and duplicate evenly around 360 degrees. So each time you create new set of objects, you can add them to selection by going again to the select shapes from groups, picking up from top pop-up bubble. This is a very helpful shortcut to make your operations much quicker. Okay, it's done. So now I need to create the mirror line from a top view. So I'm going to do it right now. I have to go to the top view, by just double tapping on a small box from the right top corner and then selecting the top view, and I'm going to create a line, and according that line I'm going to mirror my cutting objects. Okay, it's done. So now you have to just go to the subtract tool and then first select the thread profile and then go to the select bodies or groups and select our cutting tool, and this is it. So now let's unhide the tire and the rest of the objects, and now we can make union of rim and tire and also make the rim one object. So now we can hide all unuseful sketches, and we can actually delete the unuseful layers in our groups. And I think we can go straight to make colors of our tire and rim. So this is gonna be last touch. We've done a really great job in this lesson. You have learned how to make sketches and use them to create solid, mostly with the revolve command. We have been trying to keep up with the right arrangement according coordinate system and construction geometry. And you have learned how to shortcut your modeling actions using group selecting. So quite long for this tutorial. And basically this is it for this lesson. So thanks for watching and good luck with modeling.